I'm not even going to introduce him. If you don't know who he is, then you're an idiot. You haven't been paying attention to the sport long enough to know. Honestly, the biggest surprise for me out of this whole thing is that you announced that this is going to be your last fight. Is this actually true? Are you done after this fight with Chael?
Yes, I'm done.
Why?
20 years. 8 surgeries. Over 26 concussions. It's time, man. I want to make sure I walk away at the right time. I made my money. I need what I need to do in the sport. So it's time for me to walk away.
Well, we talked about that before. You even come in the Bellator. It's not like you needed the money when you first signed with Bellator. It was just like it's still you had a fire and a burn and want to continue to fight. But now that burn's gone?
You know, the burn's not gone. I still wish I could do it. I just don't want to get injured anymore, man. I don't want to have any more injuries to my neck and my back and that and my children. You know, my kids, they're 7 years old. They're going to be 8, and I don't want to miss them growing up, you know. When they're having their school projects and they're like, Dad, can you come help me? And I'm too tired to do it because I've been training all day. It bums me out when, you know, they're going to bed and I got to go train and I'm kissing them at dinner and I don't get to kiss them goodnight. That bums me out. I missed out on that with my oldest son, Jacob, you know, for 4 or 5 years. And I wish I could take that time back, but I couldn't do it because I was working so hard to give them a great future. I'm doing the same thing with my twins now as being a single father. But with the help of Amber, of course, I got to give her a lot of credit because she's an amazing stepmother. I don't want to miss out my children's childhood. That's my biggest thing, man. I just don't want to miss out on it. Like I said, I made my money. I've done what I needed to do over the last 20 years. I'm lucky to be doing this for over 20 years. I think I've done a great career.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't even realize you were one of the first guys that held out during contract negotiations, and as a result, all of us got paid more. I was part of that group that got paid more because you were just sitting there saying, look, you're not paying us enough. Everyone got paid. You were the one that started, you know, begging for better rights for the fighters as a whole. And every organization had to follow suit because that's what you demanded. That's what you wanted. So there's a lot of the OGs like myself and some of the other ones, the second gen, not the Ken Shamrocks and the Hoist Gracies, not that group. The second group, which is us, we all have a big debt that we owe you because of what you did for the sport. But you know, you were hurt a lot going through. Obviously, you know, your neck. You know, you had a problem with your neck when you fought Liam McGeary the last time out at Bellator. How injured are you right now coming into this fight?
None. I'm very, very thankful. You know, I have a little bit of kinks just because they fused. I mean, I've had 2-level fused and a disc replacement. Of course, I'm going to get little kinks from wrestling, but I've been able to go through camp and be strong. I've been able to do 5 days a week of weight training, wrestling 4 days a week, sparring 3 days a week, doing mitt work 5 days a week. Started doing bike riding where, you know, I'm pushing myself for 20 miles and getting it under an hour. And over the last 3 weeks, I've actually stopped at the 10-mile mark, and there's stairs at that part, and I hit the stairs 20 times, and I get back on the bike and I run back. And actually this week, I stopped doing bike and I started doing my 3 miles again. So I'm doing my 3 miles with my 75-yard sprints 10 times. I'm in shape, man. I've taken this fight super seriously just because Chael pushed me to the next level. He's challenged me as a man.
See, you got to ask. Like, he's coming up to your weight class. I mean, I know you've talked about this 100 times with everybody else, but he's jumping up to your weight class, and you're a big 205 pounder. This is not it's not like you're grabbing onto a guy that normally weighs 215 walking around. You're a big fucking 205 pounder.
Chael is 225.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Right? You're gonna be 225 walking into the cage.
Yes.
Is it?
The light is 222 at the lightest. I've been trying to keep my weight because my weight's been coming down. I got down to 217 today, or not today, day before yesterday, and I actually had to go eat a cheeseburger at TK Burger. I had to go eat a cheeseburger. It was like, I know, all what was me, but that was like the first time I had to do that, man. I've never had to do that before. It's just my weight comes off so easy because I'm doing my cardio is through the roof. I have this new, style that I'm eating. I'm actually doing egg whites 24/7. It's a company that sends me egg whites, and that's half my meal in the morning. I have it for breakfast, I have it for lunch, and then I have a meal after my second training. So, and then I have a dinner, then I have a late dinner. But my body's burning so fast, man. You'll see it at the weigh-ins, dude. I'm shredded to the gills for sure.
So, what is this fight? I mean, it's your farewell fight. I mean, so obviously it's a huge deal. But why? Because you pretty much chose Chael Sonnen as the farewell fight. So why is Chael?
He chose me. I didn't choose him. He called me out. He called me a coward and saying he's on an ass-whipping tour. Yeah, he's going to get an ass-whipping by a legend, too.
So if Liam McGeary did the exact same thing, he would be your farewell fight? If Liam, after he beats you, started talking trash again, and you'd fight him again?
Yeah, why not? I asked for that fight. I asked to fight Liam Gary. Scott Coker's like, man, we'll give you, we'll let you fight Ken Shamrock or Frank Shamrock. And I didn't want that, man. I wanted to fight for a world title. I wanted to see how good I was. And I wasn't good enough, And now Chael comes over and he says he wants to fight me. And I'll let it happen.
Not only does he want to fight you, he was saying, of course, Chael's good at trash talking.
He lies well. He's a very good liar. He's a habitual liar. Very, very good.
Yeah. So how's your Rolls Royce? How's the the car that you got repoed, and the fact that you got to sell off all your clothes because you can't make the bills, and it's his lying it's awesome because you kind of halfway believe it, but you're not sure.
I don't know. Does it look like I got repoed?
Yeah, it does. It looks like I repoed right to your office.
Oh my God! This guy, he tries to find anything, but you know what that shows? That shows a sign of weakness. It shows a person who's weak, a person who doesn't really believe in himself, and he has to say lies to make everybody else believe what he thinks. And I put it to myself as, you know what, this guy knows he's getting a beating. He's getting a payday, and that's all he cares about. He hasn't fought in 3 years. He's going to get a payday. And you know what? Chael Sonnen, you're welcome.
Nice. Good play. For those who don't know, You're Welcome is actually Chael Sonnen's podcast. Tito just see the combination? See how that works? So, yes, obviously, you're in the warehouse for Punishment Clothing. I got to ask you, man, you're retiring from fighting. Obviously, you got a rose out front, got a great house, got an awesome boat. I see you fishing all the time. Your cousin Pablo keeps trying to get me to come down and go tuna fishing with him. It's your lifestyle seems to be very heavy. It seems to be very overhead heavy. What are you gonna do next? It can't be just Punishment Clothing as your next full-time gig. What are you gonna be doing next?
Well, this is one of the great things that I understood in the beginning of my career was to make sure I paid for everything. That way I don't have any overhead. My Rolls Royce Phantom is paid for. My home is paid for. My boat is paid for. The only thing I had to worry about is my kids and keeping the light bill on and paying for the food. But a management company, something I'm very interested in. Maybe theatrical stuff. I'm interested in that also. I don't know. I think for the first month is really just unwind. After a month's over with, enjoy my children. Just until school's over with. Just enjoy my children, enjoy every single day with them. I think I deserve it for sure. But I'll be back on. I'm an ADD kid, man. I can't stop I have to do everything. I have to have my fingers in everything. So I got to do as much as I possibly can. I can't just do one thing.
It's going to be 6 months of unwinding. That's what's going to take you to get out of that mentality of like, crap, okay, yeah, I've had a week off, and I got to go run. I got to get on a bike. I got, and then you're doing this whole thing. I'm like, I got to. And then you remember, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm going to see the kids wrestle today. I'm going to watch the practice. Oh, crap, we got an all-day tournament on Saturday.
I'm going to watch the practice. I'm helping them. I'm going to Calvary Chapel. I'm helping with Jake Harmon. I'm helping those guys. I want to help them. I want to do that. I want to give my attitude of how being a champion, of how hard work and dedication achieves to. And I think I've been through my whole career to get back to my community of wrestling. That's what it's about, man. If it wasn't for wrestling, I wouldn't be here.
And that's talking about wrestling. There's how much involved are you? At what level? Like I know with your kids because they're younger, they're coming up on 8 years old, they're 7 right now, but they're, so that's the kids level. Are you still involved, obviously, at the high school level with Calvary Chapel? Are you talking about going back into college wrestling and helping coach there, or are you just going to be supported from the outside?
I would like to go back, possibly help at Calvary at the high school. I haven't spoken to Jake about that. That's something just new. It just came up right now. That'd be a great idea. Something would be great to do. But at the youth level, I like to do that. I like to see the kids blossom, watch them bloom, and just get bigger and bigger and better. And the more they drill, just positive reinforcement in their lives. And I think that's how children develop a lot quicker, instead of being the negative one, to being the positive reinforcement kid.
So how's the home life going to be, do you think, once you're done? Because now like you said, you're an ADD kid. The kid's going to have you a lot more of your attention. It sounds great in the beginning. They're like, Dad, stop. I've already done my 100 push-ups. I've already done my 100 sit-ups. I've already done my 25 pull-ups. Leave me alone.
150 now. They're up to 150 now.
Oh, are they? See? It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse for them.
Well, we're going to build a wrestling room in my 2-car garage. I'm taking everything out of it. I'm building a wrestling room in there. They got weights in there. We're putting up a bag. Journey wants to box. Journey says he wants to box. He goes, he wants to be like Floyd Mayweather. It's funny. It cracks me up. He goes, he wants to box. And let me tell you, the kid is a monster. He's 7 years old, and he's 64 pounds. He's all butt and legs and chest. They're doing 30 pull-ups a night. They're doing 50 push-ups a night, 150 push-ups a night and 150 sit-ups a night every day. And they go to wrestling practice 4 days a week.
So Where do you see your kids?
I mean, going back to you, I mean, you were talking about what am I going to do? I mean, I can only be so much in their face, of course, but fishing, I love fishing. Do some fishing tournaments. I'm a huge fisherman. Maybe there'll be a time that we take a weekend off and we go to, Gloucester, go fish with TJ on the hot tuna again. I mean, that was a great time. Go fish some of the big tournaments during the summertime. That's amazing, fun times. I don't know, maybe do a TV show about called Sea Monsters, going looking for the largest fish in the world in every continent around the world. That'd be interesting, very interesting. No, all saltwater fish, all saltwater. Talk about going to Australia looking for the largest black marlin. Going to Gloucester, go looking for the biggest bluefin. Or if I have to go to Canada for the biggest blue. All saltwater fish. Going to Florida looking for the biggest sailfish. Looking for the biggest fish that's predominant in that area of the species of the fish you're looking for. I mean, up in Alaska, going for Bondor halibut. I mean, there's so much cool things that can be done with the show. Yes, 100%. I'll bring you on my boat, my 38-foot fountain. We'll go about 5 miles an hour on the water.
I'm an adequate fisherman. I'm not great. I don't suck. I kind of get what goes on, but I do have a couple of flaws. We do a lot of deep sea fishing out here in Hawaii, so I fish quite often. And I'm adequate. I'm not great. I'm not. I can sail, and I do know how to run the boat. Like that's the one thing I do how to do is control the boat, get us in, get us out. Like that thing I can do. But sometimes fishing.
As long as you know how to use a conventional reel and you know how to wind hard. You're good.
That's the thing about these big deep fishing. Like there seems to be all these rules and regulations of how you should reel in and what you should do. And all at the end of the day, you're just like, man, pull that damn thing and get it in. Just get it in.
Picture the fish will put you on your hands and knees for sure.
Wow, yeah. So that's awesome, man. I'm glad that things are coming together. Let's break down this fight. Let's talk about this fight a little bit. Chael obviously is smaller than you, so he's going to have to use speed to his advantage. You obviously talked about how good a shape you've been in, but it's also shown over the last couple of 3 years that your shape has not been as good as it was obviously in your heyday, which is normal, but it's actually steadily got worse because of your neck. Now with your neck being fixed, you're able to get your full shape and be able to roll with like guys like Rafael Davis in wrestling practice and not have to call that timeout.
Rafael Davis is 4-0 against Chael Sonnen. That's why I brought him in my camp. And Rafael has been there. He's been my main sparring partner. If I can defend his shot, if I can keep him off of me, if I can get out from underneath him, Chael Sonnen is not going to take me down. He's not going to put me down. And he's not going to keep me down. And if he does, I'm getting right back up. I want to push his heart into the red zone. It's going to be the red zone through the whole fight. And that's what I'm going to try to do. Chael hasn't fought in 3 years. He thinks he can walk into a cage and, maybe wrestle. He's done okay with his grappling matches he do. That's a grappling match. When you're getting punched and kneed in the face and you're on the ground and getting elbowed in the face, that changes the game. It's going to absorb all of his energy. And he ain't going to realize that how hard it's going to be to try to take me off the fence or even take me down in the middle of the cage. My hips are fast. I've been doing a lot of wrestling, man. It's been good. I'm in wrestling shape. And I'm in fight shape, which is great.
And for people at home that don't understand, wrestling is a sprint sport. At the college level, you have to do 7 minutes, and at the international level, it's 5-minute rounds. It's a sprint sport. Like you got to be in great shape to go that hard, banging, pulling, pushing. Then add in fight shape, which is also being able to sprawl and turn the corner and throw knees on you from your knees. Be able to get back up quick enough and throw jabs and crosses. Being in that kind of shape for a fight is huge. And what Tito's saying, which you haven't said in the last 3 interviews we've had, so I went back and looked. You haven't said, hey, not only am I in wrestling shape, but I'm in fight shape. You've told me you're in wrestling shape, and you've told me you're in fight shape, but you never said the both together. So this means that you are kind of in better shape than you've been in 3 years. Are you in the best shape you've been in ever in your career?
Not ever. I think just because of the injuries and the surgeries I've had, that I'm able to bounce back after those. But I really think from the factor of being able to do the things I have with the injuries, with the surgeries I've had done, yes, I am in the best shape I've ever had. I was looking in the mirror the other day, and I was like, God, babe, I was talking to Amber. I was like, I haven't been this good of shape since I fought Randy Couture back in 2003. Shredded, man. My weight, like I say, I'm 220, 224. I bounced from 225 to 227 or 217. That's my bounce weight through the week.
Depending on how much dehydration and how hard the workouts were. And Yep.
Yep.
So what's Amber going to do once you're off? Now she got to deal with you too. Every day, all day, no practices.
See, this is the great thing is like we're best friends, so it's like we love each other, man. It's cool. The more time we get with each other, the better. She loves to fish too, so it's even better. She should know herself.
I see her out fishing with you all the time, but I was going to ask, does she actually like it, or does she do it? Oh, it's my man's doing it, so I'm going to go out with her, and she stands up for the pose. But the rest of the time, she's sitting in the corner on her phone.
She sits on the fish, and fish kicks her ass, and she sits on it for 30, 40 minutes. She's like, babe, this thing's kicking my butt, but she fights it. She's down. I mean, we eat sushi, so she likes to be a part of the whole thing. I mean, this is back from when we first started dating. I took her lobster fishing, and she pulled 10 lobster lines in one night in a row. I was like, this girl's a keeper right here.
Look at you. Look at you. You knew right away. So what's the plans with her then? Come on.
Yeah.
Give it up.
Come on. Why? All these people talk about marriage. For what?
No.
What does a paper do? Nothing.
You don't have to get married, but you got to get on one side of the fence. You can't stand on the
I'm already on the side of the fence. She lives with me. She's my number one. I will die for her. I will take care of her for the rest of her life. She takes care of me. She takes care of my children as her own. I can't look for anything better. I'm cool. I'm old, man. Come on. I'm an old man. This kid doesn't need me anymore. I'm happy. I'm satisfied.
But she's not giving you the conversation? She's not asking, hey, maybe she... No, it's you guys are on the same page, totally fine with it.
Same page, totally fine with it.
And it's funny that if you were living in whatever, Oklahoma, I'd be like, man, nope, she's going to give it to you. She's going to make you want to get married. It's going to happen. In California, it's kind of okay. It's kind of a new way to look at relationships.
The craziest thing is when people get married, and not all people, but when by about a good 75% of people get married, they end up getting divorced like 4 years later. It lasts about 4 years.
It's 45% of all marriages end in divorce. Unless you've been divorced once, then it raises to 75%. Unless you've been divorced 3 times, it raises to 85%. And that's been the standard since the 70s. That's just what it is.
So I like to be on my first date every single day. I'm with her on my first date every single day. So we're dating. So it's like every single day, it's like we're in love. It's cool, man. And the greatest thing is we don't fight. I mean, we don't fight. Yeah, we get a little tipped at each other, and we're like, okay, we sit down. All right, let's talk about this, keep it towards each other, and it's over. That's it.
Well, part of that, too, is because you're older. Part of it, too, is that you went through that constant, everyday fighting relationship before. Every day, everything is a problem. Everything.
Oh, everything. Like cats and dogs.
Yeah.
And I look back, and I'm so thankful for where I am today. And it's all been a learning experience, you know. I'm lucky, man. I'm really, really lucky. I went through one marriage that I'm still really good friends with, Kristen Lopez, who just got remarried. And they have a great family. She just had a baby girl. My son Jacob loves her. My son Jake comes out here. He still wrestles. His father-in-law, Jimmy, is an amazing wrestler from Arizona State. Great guy, really cool person. He coached the high school wrestling team also. So it's been good, man. My ex, she has been MIA for the last 4 years. And, you know, hopefully she goes out and does what the court says. It's been 4 years. She still hasn't done what the court says. So, I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's the one thing I did notice about you, that you have no ill will, you know, against, and you're just like, look, as long as she does what she's supposed to do, then, you know, everything's going to be fine. She won't do it. So I don't wish her ill, but it's out of my hands. You can only do so much for somebody.
You know, at the end of the day, it's about the safety of my children. It's about the future of my children. That is all I care about. I don't care about how someone feels. I don't care about how fans feel or anything. It's about my children. Number one is my children. My fight career can take a second step, as it has always up to this point, and it's about my children. My children's safety and their future is number one.
Tito, man, I got to tell you, I'll see you Saturday afterwards. I'm actually got a reffing assignment. I'll be reffing on the undercard for that event, so I'll be there. And it's so great. I'm so glad for your career. So happy to be on the cards when you fought and being around you when you competed. I was going to reach the same level of success as you did within the sport. But, man, thank you so much for everything that you've done for me as a fighter, because I saw the paychecks get increased when you held out. I saw that things change when you said, look, they need to be changed. And really, most people don't even understand that. They didn't know what was going on. They weren't paying attention to it.
I was the one that was taking all the shit because of it, you know. I'm saying that I was afraid to fight Chuck. And, I mean, there was so much bad press about me that Danny tried to put out to make me look like shit, to undermine. You know what? At the end of the day, thank you. It kind of helped my fame, so I guess thank you. And it helped his fame, too. So
how How is your relationship with Dana right now? Is it better? Is it worse? Is it?
I haven't spoke to him. I mean, I think the last time that I've heard anything from him was when I signed with Bellator and I fought against Shlemenko, and he's got focus mitts with his face on him. He says that this doesn't motivate you, nothing will. There's still, I don't know. Hopefully we can get over it, man. I'm a different person than I was, back in the time of problems. From 2006 to 2012, my life was in shambles. It was just, I was trying to figure out something that I thought I could fix and I couldn't fix. And now that I've gone to a second step of my life, a second chapter, a third chapter, I'm a different man, and I know he's a different man too. So maybe there's a day we go to lunch and kick back and talk about good old times and kind of squash the BS behind us and move on. Me and Chuck, we're cool. I was actually on Amber's birthday in December. He came out. We're at Marquee. He came hang out at the table, came say hello, and I have no ill will toward Chuck either. He's cool, man. I think it's just such a bad image that UFC tried to paint me against him wasn't really the truth. And I mean, Chuck was my boy, dude. I just didn't make sense to me. And at the same time, when we were supposed to fight each other, I had to talk against him. I had to sell the fight. I was gonna talk shit, of course. But at the end of the day, we're legends, man. We're the ones, the pioneers who made the sport happen.
The only other guy we haven't talked about is Randy Couture. Obviously, things are good with him. He's around Bellator quite a bit. Obviously, his son Ryan is fighting there, and Randy and Chuck were together for New Year's Eve in New York. And obviously, you see Randy quite a bit. It's funny seeing the guys that fought each other and had some of the most epic fights and most epic talking to fights hang out together now. It's all kind of like you're gonna.
No, that's a funny thing. So I do a thing for Make-A-Wish Foundation in Nashville, and Randy goes there every year. I go there every year. But just this last year, so he's my dad from now on. So he's some girl walked up to me and says, "Can I take a picture with you and your dad?" Yeah. So he's my dad. I call Randy Pops. I posted a picture of him with long hair. I go, "This is back when my dad had long hair."
Text about that when it happened at the charity event. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's great.
Randy's a good dude. He's an awesome guy. Guy who I always looked up to. He's a really, really cool cat.
Yeah, great cat. Tito, thanks so much, man. I'm way over the time. I meant to only keep it a couple minutes, but always happens with us. We get talking. I appreciate it. Thanks so much, and have fun next weekend, man. Enjoy the ride out.
Man, it's been a hell of a camp, man. I've been going now for 14 weeks. Tonight will be the last night wrestling. Finally. Yeah. I do my 3-mile run tonight with 10 7-yard sprints. Take the weekend off. Then start cutting weight. Not even cutting weight, just maintain. Just kind of just sharpen up my tools, sharpen up my weapons. I'm going to shine on Saturday night, January 21st, 2 days before my birthday. I'm going to whoop Chael's ass. He doesn't realize who he's fighting, and he's going to feel it when I'm on top of him. I'll be 42 years young.
So, don't worry.
You make it look good.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. They're you're talking about acting earlier. Like, you can play a lot younger than 40s. Like, you can play in your 30s, and that's the game, is being able to play 10 years younger.
Yeah.
And the problem is that when you're playing, in your 40s and you're 60, and he wants you to move like a 40-year-old, you're like, I can't really get this down anymore. So,
No.
all right, man. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk again soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it, brother.
You got it, man.